All right, so in today's lesson, we're looking at metabolism. And before we do that, you're year eight, and I'd like to introduce you to language words. And I've always said that science is a new language for you guys. It is not English, and there is a lot of vocab you need to learn. Sometimes it's not essential, but it's cool. So today I'm going to teach you two new words. One is autotrophs. Autotrophs means that there are organisms that make their own food. And the only one you're going to deal with, unless you decide to do A-level biology, and I hope a lot of you do decide to do A-level sciences, is plants. Plants make their own food by harnessing the energy from sunlight. We and every other animal on this planet is a heterotroph. We eat. We eat other animals. So these two really cool words, I thought I'd throw them in there. What we're looking at today is metabolism. What is metabolism? Well, metabolism is breaking big molecules into smaller molecules or making big molecules from smaller molecules. So it's either breaking or making. Now, we're going to start with glucose. It's a sugar. It's actually the most important sugar. It is one of sugars. You'll see it in drinks like Lucozade and things like that. So it's a really, really important sugar because last time we looked at respiration, we need respiration to release energy. And that's really important. All living things respire, everything. And we use glucose as a source of energy. And if you remember, we break down glucose into carbon dioxide and water. So this is breaking a big molecule into a small molecule. If a plant, and I'll talk about plants, if plants have too much or they make too much glucose by photosynthesis, they change it to starch. And if you look at starch, that's lots of glucose joined together. And then we come along and we eat the poor little monsters. They've worked so hard and we scoff them. So, when we eat plants, they contain glucose and starch. Especially starch you will find in things like potatoes, rice, wheat. So when you eat it, you take starch and you break it down. This is by digestion. You break it down into glucose. Your body then absorbs glucose and uses it for respiration. Unless there's too much. If there's too much, your body will store it in your muscles as glycogen. And you can see it's lots of glucose molecules joined together. It is a polymer. Okay, a monomer and polymer. We're going to do that in chemistry at some point this year. All right, but you have to think about the same thing with proteins. Now, proteins. Now, I had chicken yesterday. So chicken is made from a chicken protein, right? The chicken muscle is very different to mine, but it's made of protein. And what you do is you digest it. Proteins are made from amino acids. Each one of these is an amino acid. When you digest it, your body breaks it down into amino acids. You then turn it into what you need. That molecule there is hemoglobin. It's the red stuff in your blood that carries oxygen around. So what you will do, you will digest protein, which is a really long polymer of amino acids. You'll break it down into little amino acids. You'll then absorb it and change it into an amino acid you need, a protein you need. All right. The other molecules you need to know about are lipids, oils, and these are ridiculously important. People talk about high fat diets. You must have a balanced diet. You must have fats and oils in your diet. And fats and oils are made from glycerol and 3 fatty acids. Okay? Your body digests them, it breaks them down, it turns them into glycerol and fatty acids. That's your digestive system. You take it in, you absorb it, and then you build fatty acids, lipids from fatty acids and glycerol And you use them for things like cell membranes. And when I'm pulling my cheeks, I got squishy, squishy face. And that's because of my oils in my cell membranes, my lipids and oils in my cell membranes. Lipids is a more technical word. So, in terms of what we're doing, look at me, I underline keywords. All right, so going through the key ideas. Organisms get molecule by eating food. That's heterotrophs, that's animals. Unless they're plants, then it's by photosynthesis. They don't eat anything. They can be built up, synthesized into larger molecules. I've shown that. I've shown that where plants will make glucose, then starch. They can be broken down, like us, taking starch and breaking it down into glucose. So this making and breaking of molecules is called metabolism. Now, I talked about, oh, look, no wonder I like writing stuff. I forget things. Right. Carbohydrates are made of sugars. Glucose is one of lots of sugars. We looked at starch, how it was made. Starch is a storage molecule in plants. Glycogen is a storage molecule in animals. Cellulose is lots, believe it or not, lots of glucose molecules joined together. And that's what makes the cell wall in plants. Okay. Lipids, fats and oils made from glycerol and 3 fatty acids, used as an energy store. I store a lot of energy. And in cell membranes. Okay, proteins are made from amino acids. Now, this is really important. Apart from I said we need them to make things like muscles, we need them from enzymes. And we touched on enzymes last year, but it doesn't matter, it was a long time ago. Enzymes are little machines that do everything. They build you up, they build your muscle, they digest your food. Every activity that goes on in you is down to enzymes. If you have too many amino acids, you break them down into urea. This is where the word urine comes from. Urea is a waste product of the breaking down of amino acids. All right. So, glucose, it can be stored as glycogen in animals and broken down for energy. Fatty acids and glycerol made into lipids used in membranes. Amino acids built into proteins or broken down into urea. All right. So, now, this is today's work. Just deleting some things that. Do you know what? I'm going to put them up there. I'm being very naughty. So I put these notes up here. I'm going to go through these practice questions first. What is metabolism? The making or breaking of molecules. Give 2 examples of molecules made from glucose. Starch and glycogen would do. You could have cellulose. What are lipids made from? 3 fatty acids and glycerol. Why are proteins important in cells? They make enzymes, which are little machines that run everything. What happens to amino acids if the body has too many? You change them into urea. Explain why respiration is important for cells. Because it's the source of energy that we need. Okay, so in today's work, you got 3 sets of questions as per usual. Easy, doesn't mean they're all perfectly easy, but they're relatively easy. Medium, gets a little bit tricky, and oh my god, that's really mean. All right. Anywho, look at that. 8 minutes and 40 seconds as an introduction. All